The comic book movie genre has some great films, and you could hear me talk about those films in my best comic book movies. However, we're going to talk about the most tedious comic book movies or superhero movies of all time. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I talk about a bunch of movies on this channel. Down below in the comment section, share your picks for the absolute worst superhero movies ever made over on my channel. I have more content like this. Check those out once this video is over. And with that said, let's talk about some really bad superhero movies. Kicking off the top 5 is Batman and Robin. Joel Schumacher, after going a little bit campy with Batman Forever, decided to take the camp sliders and crank them all the way to 1,000. And everything is a miscalculation in this movie, as poorly executed as you would expect it to be. From all of the bat jokes,
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
To these shots of bat butts, crotches, and boobs. As well as to all the Mr. Freeze puns and things like that.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Cool party. Let's kick some ice. Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming.
Hey, Freeze. The heat is on.
Everything in this movie is just a dumpster fire. And there's a bunch of lame jokes thrown throughout the movie.
I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
And it has a very juvenile sense of humor. There's weird performances and strange iterations of characters like Poison Ivy and Bane.
And now you corrupt my research.
And it's also really reportedly said that this movie was made just to sell toys, which makes it a little bit more cynical. But to me, this is a so bad it's good movie, and so it's very entertaining and very bad at the same time. Number 4, Thunder Force. This is a cheap and lazy Netflix comedy that just so happens to be a superhero movie. And to point out a bunch of the comedy in this movie, it's unfunny, and you have Melissa McCarthy running with lazy jokes, and I just don't understand. Like, the movie has a pretty good premise about 2 middle-aged women becoming superheroes, but it's just an unfunny comedy. It feels like it's going for the lowest common denominator. It's basically people improvising and on set
that you could
while filming a movie. It tries to do this emotional payoff thing at the end, but isn't particularly emotional, and it has the most cliche ending of any superhero movie that I've seen, and so this one does not work for me, and I'm pretty sure in the year 2021 I listed it as the worst movie of the year. In third place is X-Men Origins Wolverine. Of every single movie that I've seen in my life, this might be the most boring movie, because every time I rewatch this movie, it's just a sleeping device. And what's really embarrassing about this movie is that the special effects look really bad, and it looks like they spent a lot of money on them. The ultimate example of this is Wolverine's claws that are cartoonish in the worst possible way. And somehow this movie makes Wolverine less interesting as a character. What makes his origin interesting is that it's a mystery, and this movie removes all of the mystery. The treatment of Deadpool is just infamous, and once you see the bad twist about the girlfriend, you realize that most of the events are held together by a string of coincidences and contrivances.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The prequel problem of this movie is that you're seeing characters before they become the hero, therefore you're seeing them do things that you don't necessarily want to see them do. In the end, you just get a dumpster fire that is quite professionally made, but it's just really bad and really boring. Our runner-up is Catwoman. This is a film that has a very silly and stupid premise, executed just as bad as you would expect it. It involves an evil makeup company planning on releasing a lotion out to the public, and Catwoman must stop the evil makeup company. Also, if you put too much of the evil lotion on, you gain superpowers, and that's why the villain in this movie has superpowers. And this movie has some of the worst CGI I've seen in a live-action movie. They don't have stunt work, they have CGI. When they do city landscapes, it looks like something straight out of Grand Theft Auto. And when a cat resurrects Halle Berry's character into Catwoman, it literally looks like an animated cat plopped into a live-action movie. And on that note, it has some so bad it's good elements where you could just laugh at some of it, but other than that, this is a dreadful, dreadful film that also happens to be quite entertaining. But the worst superhero movie to me is Fantastic. This movie is known for being the disaster of all Fantastic Four movies. If you don't know, this movie had a bunch of behind-the-scenes trouble where Josh Trank had a bunch of meltdowns on set. He had to cut out 2 action sequences right before they started shooting. And the movie itself has no second act. The first act is about them gaining their powers, and the third act is about them stopping Dr. Doom. But I totally forgot what happened in the second act. There's so much behind-the-scenes trouble. There's scenes in the trailers that aren't in the movie. There's scenes of there's set photos of the Fantastic Four's vehicle that isn't in the movie. And it's kind of funny how bad this movie is. The villain doesn't show up until 10 minutes before the movie ends, and he looks like a literal dumpster with legs walking around a facility. There's so much obvious reshoots and horrible wigs. It's so incoherent. This is not a so bad it's good movie. It's just a so bad it's boring movie. Therefore, it is my pick for the worst superhero movie ever made. There you have it. Those are my picks for the worst superhero movies. Down below in the comment section, share your picks for the worst superhero movies. Over on my channel, I have more content like this. Check those out right now. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching until the end. I will see you in the next one.